Okay, we're going to call this meeting of LAFCO to order. If I could get everybody please to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Good to see everybody here. We will start off with introductions of our commissioners, and we'll start from my left here. Ken.
Ken Lane, public member.
Suze Wallen, Mayor of Modesto, city member.
Vito Chiesa, county member.
Terry Withrow, county member.
Charlie Gokin, Waterford, alternate public member, city member.
Bill Berry, public member.
Sarah Little-Penny, executive officer.
Sean Whitehead, County Council.
Jennifer Vieira, Commission Clerk.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to move on to public comment. This is a portion of the meetings where it's anybody can come up and speak about anything that's not on the agenda. You can speak about something that's on the agenda when we get to that item, but for something that's not on the agenda, this is open for everybody. And we'll give you, I think it's 3 minutes here, 5 minutes, whatever. Anyway, we'll work that out. So do we have any public comments? I don't have any cards up here. Anybody who would like to come up for public comment? Seeing none, okay. We will move on to correspondence. Sarah?
You have one item of specific correspondence from Annabelle Gammon regarding item 6A. And that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, we're gonna, anything else with regard to anything in the news, anything like that to you to talk about? Very good. Declaration of conflicts. Do we have any statements? Anybody need to make any statements with regard to conflicts they have tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to consent calendar. Anything on the consent calendar that anyone would like to pull from the dais here, commissioners? Seeing none, anybody from the audience, would they like to pull anything from the consent calendar? Seeing none, then we'll look for a motion with regard to our consent calendar.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion to second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Very good. Okay. We're going to move on now to items.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to remove myself now,
Okay.
since I'm going to be considered later.
Very
So
good.
I'll come back and join you guys.
Okay, thanks, Ken. So we will move to item 6, other business, selection of public member and alternate public member to the commission. And I'm going to turn this over to Sarah for a second, and we'll go from there.
So the commission had a month-long recruitment period for public members.
Can we get Sarah, get your mic going over there?
It's up all the way.
Maybe
Try it
not.
again.
There we
I
go.
don't know.
Closer to it maybe, because we're having more issues over there.
Okay.
Anyway, we had a month-long recruitment that resulted in 12 applications, which the commission decided to move forward tonight for review. We did get an email from Annabelle Gammon stating that she would not be in attendance tonight. We also got a message from Robert Demont saying that he would also not be able to make it tonight, but both would still like to be considered. All of the applications and as well as any attachments that were provided are included with your report tonight. You are choosing both a public and alternate public member, which we would recommend taking in separate actions. And as has been tradition, the chair can call forward the individual applicants to make a brief introductory statement. The commission can ask them questions and then go back for commission discussion and decision.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much. All right, so I think the way we're going to, first of all, again, thank you guys all for being here, everybody who's interested in being a part of this process. And I think what we're going to start off with is we will let each one of you come up that are interested in this position and introduce yourself, talk a little bit about why you want to do this, and then we'll open it up to the commissioners if they have any questions for you, and then we'll let you sit back down and we'll go through that till we've talked with everyone who is here, and then we'll bring it back to the commission and we'll go from there. So we will start off, I'm just going to kind of go in the order. I know Annabelle could not be here. So we'll start off with Brad Johnson. Is Brad? There's Brad in the back. Brad, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you.
Sorry we missed you last night.
Yeah, sorry.
Brad Johnson from Salida. I'm on the Salida MAC for 20 years. Interested in serving here. Don't really know much else to say about that, but have very few conflicts of interest, and I feel that's important. Do you have any questions?
Okay. Thanks, Brad. I'll just start off with so why do you want to be on the commission? What What makes you want to be here tonight?
Well, I think it's important that we move carefully with our planning and agency formation. So I've seen that this board has made several important decisions in the past for our communities regarding growth and farmland preservation. And after reviewing the minutes for several of our meetings, it seems like the board's doing a pretty good job. And I think as a member of the public, I could serve well here and bring some of my past experiences.
Okay, great. Thanks, Brad. Anybody else have any more questions for Brad? Okay. very
I
good.
do.
Oh,
I do.
I'm
I have a
sorry, Sue,
question.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Sue.
yes. Would you please share with us your vision for our region?
Well, I think that it's important that we grow carefully and quit making million-dollar houses. We're having a real problem with housing in this area, and frankly, I think that's related to corporate ownership of housing stock. See, our prices of our houses are out of control, and basically corporations have a monopoly on a lot of that housing stock. And I think we've made several decisions in the past that's made that problem worse. We shouldn't be letting these tax foreclosed properties, for instance, be sold on the internet. They should be handled here locally to give local families a chance at those houses.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Okay, thanks, Brad. Okay, and next up, Devon Shelley. Devon, good evening. How are you?
Hi, it's actually pronounced Devin.
Devin?
Thank you.
Okay, I had 2 shots there.
No problem.
And I missed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm actually new to Riverbank. I just moved up here, I want to say almost a year ago, back in May. I moved up here with my wife and kids. Currently, I work for AT&T. I'm an outside plant technician. So I help them build out the infrastructure and help get you guys better services. And yeah, I'm very interested in serving on this on the commission.
Okay, where'd you moved up here from where?
I'm from Los Angeles, actually.
Okay.
So I'm from a big city, so I like the difference from moving from a big city to a more rural area, like where I live at.
Okay. How'd you pick Riverbank from LA? How'd you?
So I originally moved up here for my job. So
Okay.
I was facing a layoff, so they told me you can get another job if you move to the Bay Area, because they were laying off in the area I was in. So I was able to find another position, which was actually a promotion. So I went and got retrained, and they showed me how to do a whole nother job, and yeah, I moved my family up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to give everybody a chance here.
I was
sorry.
living in Mountain House before I moved to Riverbank.
Okay.
And the homes in Riverbank were more affordable, and the area is pretty safe, and it's a pretty nice community,
Okay.
and somewhere that I plan on raising my kids there for a long time.
Perfect. And any, as far as experience, you've been involved in any government experience before? Any commissions or boards you've served on, or?
Right now, I am currently serving on the school site council at Crossroads Elementary. I'm a current CWA member, but I don't really have any government experience. Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Very good. Thank you. Other questions? Anybody?
I'll ask the same question. Do you have a vision for our region for the next 4 years?
Yes, I would like to see them produce more food in our area, like to help get the food prices down, because I know a lot of people have been struggling with that. Yeah, mainly more affordable food, more affordable housing, and community development, like developing the parks for like the children to get them more outside instead of having them on tablets and iPhones. More have them outside playing, and child development also.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
One last question, just as far as LAFCO is concerned, Devin, are you familiar with LAFCO as far as how it works and what governs how we do
yes.
things here? Okay, and it sounds like you're involved in you more food production. So as far as agriculture is concerned, do you have an interest in agriculture? Or
I have an interest in a few other things also, but I'll save that for later.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next up, we have James Reap. James, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for considering my application. I've been in Turlock since 1992. I moved there after getting out of the Air Force to work in the medical field. The last 23 years I've worked as a nurse practitioner in family practice, and that career I'm going to be retiring here next year, and so looking to get more involved in community. I've been a planning commissioner in Turlock for the last 8 years, and I've enjoyed that, and have learned a lot. I have a lot more to learn. As some of you know, I'm also a candidate for mayor of Turlock in the next election, and so I'm hoping that this will be an opportunity for me to get a head start on regional planning and helping our agencies work better together. And to Mayor Zwollen's question, you know, my vision for our area, our region, long-term is I'd like to see our communities to be more self-sustaining and less dependent on Bay Area commuters. I'd like to see more people live close to where they work and you know, have more jobs in our area that provide a living wage so people can spend more time with their families and getting more involved in their communities.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any more questions for James? Anybody? So I'm just going to say the same thing. You're familiar to some extent. It sounds like you're on the Planning Commission in Turlock,
Yes.
so you're a little familiar with
Yes.
LAFCO and how it works and its purpose and the reason it was formed. And
Yes. So I'm originally a farm kid from Idaho, you know, and so 4-H and FFA all the way through school. And so I have a deep connection to agriculture, and preserving this farmland is I think really important. And I look around our cities and I see, you know, lots of open ground that is ripe for housing development, and so I very much believe in that part of our mission, and helping our agencies, our emergency services, and our utilities work together and provide seamless service for our citizens, I think is important.
very good.
Yep.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions. All right, James, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Jamie Agers. Jamie, good evening. How are you?
I'm well. Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity. It's an honor to even be considered. Just a little bit about me. I've lived in Stanislaus County my entire life. I retired from Stanislaus County as Director of Environmental Resources after over 36 years of public service. I would be honored to continue serving the public on LAFCO, and I think that my educational background as well as my work background make me a good candidate. I believe in and support LAFCO's objectives as outlined by state law. And to answer Mayor Zwellen's question about my vision is smart growth toward vacant urban lands and to preserve agricultural land. Modesto was a small town when I was a little girl, so it's grown. Growth is inevitable, but smart growth is the way to go. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Very good. Thanks, Jamie. Okay, any questions for Jamie?
Thank
Jamie,
you.
I know you attend several of these meetings, and so I won't ask you about LAFCO that much, but thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's very good. Okay. All right, we'll move on. Our next one then, thanks, Jamie, is Jeannie Ferrari. Jeannie, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. My interest is, I think I align perfectly with the goals of LAFCO. I have been a speaker before the commissioners several times over the last few years, and I think I come prepared with good comments and questions because I generally speak to LAFCO staff if I have any questions or I need any information. I like correct information, and I think I'm very, very good about only passing along to the public information that is correct about any kind of land use proposals that I support or I don't support. My vision for the county would be that we infill we grow up, we have good housing options, which I know is very difficult. But I would like to see us direct growth to the poorest soils and keep growing food on our best soils. And I'm very, very supportive of housing. It just needs to be in the proper places because people deserve to have a home and to rent. So.
Okay. Thank you, Jeannie. Okay, any questions for Jeannie? Anybody? And again, Jeannie, I know we see you here, and you've been very involved in LAFCO over the years, so thank you for being here tonight. Okay. Next up is Ken Beener. Ken, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Good evening, Commissioners. I'm a lifelong resident of Patterson, and I think it would be nice to have some representation from the west side. As far as qualifications, I have served on the Patterson's Economic Strategic Commission, attended the retail conventions in Las Vegas and Carmel, Monterey, trying to bring businesses into Patterson. In the past, I was involved with the West Patterson Business Park there. I served on the Stanislaus County Planning Commission for 10 years, and so very familiar with this room. And I would like to, see us grow in a controlled manner. And cities from time to time need to grow and bring in more land, and so things have to be approved by numerous bodies, including this one. And I would just like to be a part of that, and I'm willing to serve if you're willing to have me.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Any questions for Ken?
Yes, other than if you would like to expand on, if you have like the perfect vision for what our county could look like in 4 years.
Sad to say perfect does not exist, but it would be, grow in a smart manner, do infill projects where we can, fill up the vacant spots that got moved around, clean up the islands, and try to improve the older areas when we can, and get rid of blighted areas if we can. And when the city or someone needs to increase the sphere, we need to study that and see how that was going to affect not just that particular project, but the rest of the area as well. So basically just try to do a good job and run a clean house.
Thank you.
Okay. Very good, Ken. Same thing. Your experience, you've been involved in the planning commissions, and we appreciate you being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next up is Ken. Is Ken going to come up? And... Would
you like to hear from
Yes,
me?
yes, sir. Ken Lane, come on up.
How are we doing tonight?
Good. How are you doing, Ken?
Good. Thanks you guys for all being here, commissioners. It's always been a great last 4 years. I mean, golly, where'd it go so fast, right? I just want to continue going through the process here on LAFCO, and I feel I have a responsibility. I started 4 years, and I know as an alternate, I could still bring some vision to this board that we all endure so much to this county. I mean, the county's place of smart growth, and I think we've done that. And, somebody mentioned about the infill projects. I think we need to do more of that, and I know we've looked at that, and I know we're doing that. But I just want to continue to serve on this board for another 4 years as an alternate. You got some good applicants, I know, that you're going to face with possibly that one that you'll choose to take my place tonight. But again, it's been an enjoyable 4 years. Looks forward to serving another 4 years if that's what you guys desire. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Ken. Okay. We will move on to our next one here, and that's Milt Treewaller. Milt. Milt, good evening. How are you?
Yes, good evening, Commissioners, Chair, LAFCO Commissioners, staff. I was born in Turlock, and I've been a Stanislaus County resident for my entire life. I attended school at Sacred Heart Elementary in Turlock, and I graduated from Our Lady of Mercy at school in Merced. At Modesto Junior College, I received my Associate of Science degree in electronics, and then I transferred down to California State University, Fresno, and received a Bachelor of Science degree in industrial electronics. 2 months after graduation, I was drafted into the United States Army. Being in the Army was a learning experience that I shared with people who came from all across the United States. After getting out of the Army, I took 6 months off and I traveled to 35 states, getting jobs in 2 of them just to help pay my way around the country. This experience convinced me that Stanislaus County was a place where I wanted to live. I got jobs at Modesto City Schools and Yosemite Junior College District before starting my own electronics business in Turlock. I operated my business for just a little over 40 years. One of my most important activities has been my participation in the City of Turlock meetings for 13 years. More recently, I've attended Stanislaus County Board meetings and the LAFCO meetings here. Local government is important for all residents because here is where we can make a difference. I'm also active in the Turlock Senior Club and a member of that board. Having lived in Stanislaus County all my life, I have an interest in the welfare of all the residents of our county. I understand the importance of the Local Agency Formation Commission and will research and examine each issue and action that comes before the commission with an unbiased and open mind. I will make decisions that are based on facts and reality and the long-term effects that they will have on the future of our children and descendants. Having attended over 12 LAFCO meetings, I understand the role and responsibilities of this commission. I'm ready and willing to be a member of this commission and understand the responsibilities I will have to the people of Stanislaus County. These are the reasons that I believe you should appoint me for the LAFCO Commission. And I thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions to go on with my vision. My vision is that we have to be more than just concerned. We have to be very, very certain about what we do in our planning. You cannot cover up the best farmland in the world with houses forever, because then you lose all of your food-producing areas in the country. And we have the best land in our entire country, in the entire world, right here in MID and TID irrigation districts. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, you can finish your thought there if you want. That's all right.
Oh, okay.
No, we're asking
No,
you
we
questions.
have time.
Anybody, any other questions for Milt? Very good, Milt. We've seen you here at a bunch of meetings here and also the Board of Supervisors, and we appreciate all your participation, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next up, we have Robert Demont.
He was not able to attend.
Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. Okay, Stanley Perry Jr. Stanley, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you very much. It's good to be here, and thank you for considering my application. I don't know what I expected when I came here, but I'm impressed, and I'm impressed by the folks that have been up here before me. I think whoever you choose is going to be a great choice for the committee. I was steered toward the commission here by the mayor of my city in Riverbank. I stepped in to help out Riverbank about a year ago when they had an open commissioner position or open councilman position. And I wasn't selected, but I continue to try to help out where I can. And so she said I should look at this commission. I did some research on it. I see what you're trying to do. My background, I came up here from LA, kind of like Devin, a job move a couple years ago, so brought the family up. Settled in Riverbank. We were looking at Modesto because I'm a district manager or a franchise consultant for 7-Eleven, so I go through all of the Central Valley. And I wanted to be central to it, and so looked at Modesto and kind of got a little bit of the background and saw, this little pocket up in Riverbank. And so we just kind of started looking, had an agent here in Modesto, and found a nice little house up in Riverbank that we liked, and it was affordable, and so we decided to settle there. I'm originally from the Midwest, And I've been on the coast for a while, and I've lived in San Diego and Los Angeles and San Leandro over in the Bay. And I've forgotten what it was like to live out in the country. And every day when I'm driving to work, sometimes I just look around and just go, this is beautiful land. And when I was reading what LAFCO does, preserving our farmland, preserving our agriculture, I said, that's probably very, very important for us in California, as the last speaker noted. And so I said, well, let me see what this is all about. I've never served on a commission. I want to get into learning about how the government works and how we can help our neighbors and community. And so that's what really drew me here tonight. My vision for the area doesn't change a whole lot from what you've already heard. We have to protect the agricultural land. We have to protect the farmland. We have to protect those happy dairy cows that I see every day when I'm driving to work. And we have to grow in ways that make sense. And just living in Riverbank, I drive through town and I go, there's an empty lot we should be doing something with. There's an empty lot before we start to expand into, almond orchards and walnut orchards and dairy farms. So that's where I'm at, and that's why I'm here, and I appreciate your time tonight.
Okay, Stanley, thank you. Any questions for Stanley?
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Okay, last one we have here is Bill O'Brien. Bill, good evening, how are you?
Good evening, Commissioners. How are you?
Good.
My name is Bill O'Brien. I'm born and raised here in Stanislaus County in Modesto. Had a lengthy political career, 18 years. Started the City Council of Riverbank, moved to Mayor of Riverbank, and then on the Board of Supervisors. Had the honor of serving on the LAFCO Commission for 12 years in both county primary role and alternate roles. So I do have a ton of experience. I still think I have something to give back to the community, so that's why I'm interested in serving on LAFCO as a public member. Worked with many of you, and you all know that I have a great attendance record. I do my homework, and I come pretty well prepared. I have not, ever since I've retired from elected office, I have not been a part of any agency or group that has had anything in front of you or anticipated to be in front of you. So come in with a unbiased opinion on anything that would come before LAFCO. And as far as LAFCO visions I have, there's two issues that would be strong points for me, and that is the transportation infrastructure between cities as well as MSRs. I think MSRs are so important to LAFCO to ensure that the public's getting the best service that we can get. And so my focus would really be on the public, because I would be a public member looking at making sure the public is well protected. Answer any questions?
Okay, thanks, Bill. Any questions for Bill?
One question.
Yes.
What has been your most recent community involvement? Like maybe the last couple of years?
Well, so I still serve as chairman of the Stanislaus Workforce Development Committee. And so that is a committee that's trying to create jobs and upskill workers to get better wages within the community. So that is still a very active committee that I'm on.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Okay, I think that's it. That's everybody we had on the list and that we received the applications from. So I think what we're going to do now is try to bring this back to the board here, to the commission, and look for comments and suggestions. And Charlie, you're up.
Well, I was actually impressed with all of the candidates and all of their resumes, a lot of great experience. But, to me, the one that stands out is Bill O'Brien, all of his experience, not only actually on this commission, but as a city or county member, and I would nominate him for the full public member.
Okay.
So I guess I'm going to just tell you what I'm looking for, rather than, because I want to hear from everyone first. But this is by far the most qualified group of people, the 12 folks, including Ken. I'm going to include you in this group. I know that we have to take that up. But we've got 3 veterans, I think, what I just heard. You've got people with experience, county supervisor, you've got people who've been on planning commission, you've got someone with 36 years of experience, you've got land use advocates that actually have been pushing this their entire life, and people coming into the community wanting to do good. And so that is great. The characteristics that are beneficial for me, obviously experience, some sort of experience in land use, and that includes quite a few of you. The ability to handle pressure, because sometimes things come before us and there's a lot of pressure. Knowledgeable enough to have an opinion, but open-minded enough to change your opinion after listening to people speak. That's very important, and checking biases at the door. And again, I have generally a good feeling about the group of you that spoke today, that you could handle those, or you have those characteristics, which I consider beneficial. So those are the things I'm looking at, and then I'll talk later.
Okay, thanks, Phil. Sue?
All right, this is the first time I've been involved in this process, and I feel the weight of it. Honestly, since I've been mayor, this is probably in the top list of things that are, I know are really, really important for our area, and that has certainly been emphasized to me by members of the community that have reached out. I am overblown with the impressive nature of everyone's desire to serve. That's what our community is about. And I believe that everyone here represents that. So I appreciate everyone being here tonight and the desire to serve. I've tried to evaluate everything to the best of my ability, and we'll go forward from there.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Sue. Bill?
You can't speak.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Okay. So I'm just going to echo a little bit. This is, LAFCO is such a different animal, and those of us who are on it or have been on it know that. And it requires you to put on a different hat, and a hat that has to, you have to follow the rules and the regulations and the things that were put in place, why LAFCO was established to begin with. And so, and that's hard to do sometimes for all of us. We all come from our different areas, backgrounds, and but when you get on here, you have a certain mission, the LAFCO mission that we're supposed to help promote, and so it takes leaving any biases behind and sitting here and doing the job that you're assigned to as a LAFCO commissioner. So so I appreciate everybody. This is hard. We've got a lot of people here. Tonight that are obviously very qualified individuals, passionate about this, and that want to do this job for the right reasons, and that's what I always look at. I mean, we've got 11 people here tonight that are in here, and it's nice to see individuals wanting to get involved for the right reasons, and so I can see that we've got a lot of that here. And now the hard part is somehow we're supposed to pick one, and then our alternate. I get it, but. Out of these 11 individuals to go forward for the next 4 years here. So not sure how we're going to do this.
Well, there is a motion.
So I guess we'll start. We have a motion. We'll start with our first motion. We have a motion for, and I guess that's how we'll go through this process, is we'll just go with motions and votes on each one, and we'll go from there.
So it's,
okay.
It's voting, motion, second, voting. You got to get 3 votes. First person to 3 votes. That's the way it works, right? I just want to clarify.
Yeah, we're going to have 3 votes to make it happen.
Just can I just take
Yep,
20
go for
seconds and go over my list?
Let everybody look for a second here. Okay, here we go. Everybody.
You done looking?
Everybody want to look a little bit more? Everybody okay?
I kind of went over this ahead of time, and it's limited on the experience, because I think you have such an advantage when you have some experience in land use. And again, I think there's folks that can absolutely, I mean, there's a lot of folks that can do the job. I'm going to agree with Mayor Gokin, or Member Gokin, and I'm going to second Bill O'Brien's. I think the experience it's pretty exceptional.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and then let's do a roll call vote here.
Commissioner Chiesa?
Aye.
Commissioner Gokin?
Aye.
Commissioner Withrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Zawalin?
Aye.
Okay, it's 4.
Okay, so we have a 4-0 vote. So very good. Bill, congratulations. And everybody else, congratulations on just being here and being a part of this. And we're looking forward to moving forward with Bill and the commission.
Can I say to all the people that took the time to put in your application, I am.
Not to interrupt,
I
but
know,
we still
no,
have
I
to do
know.
alternate.
No, I know. I want to say about the primary member, because it is, yes, I know, I get in trouble all the time. It warms my heart, the people wanting to be engaged, because we talk about apathy all the time at the board, not getting people to get involved on local commissions, not just commissions, but committees. And having, so many people wanting to get involved, it truly is, makes me feel really good about where we're headed as a community. Right. Sorry.
Okay, so now we need to move on to the alternate member. Okay, so we'll look for any type of recommendation.
So I know Ken has served well, and again, sticking with that, I know he's put 4 years in, and so I'd like to put his name in nomination.
I'll second that.
That's Ken Lane.
And so any one of these other individuals can be an alternate member that are, is that right? Can, okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote.
Okay, Chiesa?
Aye.
Commissioner Gokin?
Aye.
Commissioner Withrow?
No?
Commissioner Zawalin?
We have 2 ayes and 1 no.
Correct.
I will say no.
Okay.
Does not pass.
Okay, very good. Let's move on then. We'll look for another motion here for another individual to be on the commission as an alternate member on the commission. Give us all a second here.
Well, if we're accepting nominations, I would go with Mr. Beener from Patterson, seeing that we don't have anybody from the west side and given his experience.
Okay, so we have a motion for Ken Beener. Do we have a second?
Hold on.
Take your time, everybody, don't worry. No rush here.
That's fine. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, so everybody had enough time to, okay, so we have a motion for Ken Beener to be the alternate. Do we have a second? Looks like we no second. Okay, because that dies for not having a second. Let's look for another one.
I would like to nominate Jamie Eggers as the alternate member.
Okay, we have a motion for Jamie to be alternate member. Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a second. Let's do a roll call vote.
Okay. Commissioner Chiesa?
Aye.
Commissioner Gokin?
No.
Commissioner Withrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Zawalin?
Aye.
Okay, 3 to 1.
3-1 vote. That's it. Congratulations, Jamie. As an alternate. Okay. Very good. And that takes care of that. We will move on now to our next item, a public hearing. Item 7A, proposed LAFCO budget for fiscal year 25-26.
For those new members that were selected, we will be reaching out to you directly. Okay, so moving on to our.
I don't know they heard that.
We've got Kimling back here.
I don't know that they heard you, Sarah, if you want to say that a little
The
louder.
two appointed members, she will be getting in touch with you soon. Put that mic right next to your mouth.
So next up is our proposed LAFCO budget for fiscal year 25-26. I don't know if I'm on or not.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just,
not working
the
very
mic's,
well.
unfortunately, the mic's broke, so it comes in and out.
We'll see how this goes. Okay. Staff has prepared the proposed budget for LAFCO's fiscal year 25-26 based on the commission's policies as well as various cost estimates provided by the county. The proposed budget represents an increase of a little over $27,000 as compared to the current year. With the anticipated use of fund balance, the impact to agency contributions is a little over $17,000, as you can see here. A detailed breakdown of the accounts in each of these categories is included in your staff report. I'm just going to go over some of the highlights. So overall, the proposed budget represents an increase of 4% as compared to the current year. LAFCO staff's benefits match those of the county's benefit system. So our estimates for increases for health insurance and retirement rates all match those that are expected by the county. We've also seen some slight increases that are in our costs for services, which include modest increases to both our IT services and building maintenance. We've included an additional $12,000 for the commission's biennial audit. It's an independent audit required by the commission. And we're using a proposed $20,000 in fund balance to offset agency contributions. So the commission has policies that are adopted for reserve funds. Based on these policies, these are the reserve funds that are proposed, and over on the right side is the change or the difference from the current year. First one is just the 15% of operating expenses as our general fund reserve. Next up is the accrued leave fund. That actually represents our value of accumulated cash out liability, basically the value of accrued sick and leave time. And the last one there is a long-term liability category, which is discussed in your staff report, and that represents a long-term reserve that's intended to contribute towards the employer's long-term unfunded liabilities, pension liabilities, I should say. And these vary every year with some uncertainty, but the commission has directed staff in the past to at least retain an amount intended for that and to add to that year by year. So we've been able to add to that accordingly. And in previous years, the commission has also discussed that the total reserve amount could be applied to that if needed at some point. This is a visual of what the agency allocations look like for this year. Every year, the county is responsible for 50% of the LAFCO budget. The remaining pieces of the pie there are broken down according to city revenues that are reported by the state controller's office, and those are proportional to each other, so those shift slightly, but overall, between the county and the city of Modesto, that accounts for nearly 80% of the LAFCO budget in any given year. There's a chart on page 8 of your staff report that actually gives the dollar amounts for each one of these cities and their contribution and how this upcoming year's budget would affect their contribution. Because cities' revenues fluctuate and change, you'll actually see some cities have barely any impact, even though our budget has gone up. For this upcoming year, we're looking at, as an example, Riverbank's contribution actually have a slight decrease, and some of the other cities will have a proportional increase. And this is what agency contributions have been looking like over the past few years, and then I've added a year there as a forecast for the next fiscal year. And really, I show this every year, but it's to show that traditionally we've been offsetting agency contributions as we can with fund balance. And I always project out sort of a worst-case scenario of if we did not have savings in the current year and we did not have as healthy of application revenues, let's say, the agency contributions would end up coming close to or nearing the actual LAFCO operating budget. And just a note about our work program and application activity. Every year, the commission reviews the municipal service work program. We actually do that on calendar year, so we're already starting with 2025, and we have 2026 planned out as well. Pre-application activity from both cities and special districts has been steady. We've had a number of applications that are in different stages, and that's fortunate for us because they won't all be necessarily arriving at once to the commission, but they're definitely in stages where I can say, you know, we have another annexation coming up in 2 months. We've got district activity happening a couple months after that, so it's keeping us steadily busy. And I'm keeping the application revenues conservatively estimated. As the commission's probably aware, that's not our biggest revenue, although we charge actual cost for staff time that's incurred. We do a lot of work that is frankly unpaid or state mandated, so there's a lot of things that we don't actually get reimbursement for. So staff's recommendation is to go ahead and conduct a public hearing, and then as recommended by staff to adopt the proposed budget and resolution 2025-07, and then schedule a public hearing for May 28th to consider adoption of the final budget. And with that, I'm available for questions.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Sarah?
If I could, Sarah, on the accrued leave, is that the true accumulated amount of leave that is within the organization? We have 100%?
Yes.
In reserve? Okay, for the cash outs? It's pretty good. And then the use of fund balance. Now, fund balance is always a funny word because you put in your budget that you're going to use fund balance, and then we have open positions and/or something happens. Are we actually, the committed fund balance, the expected fund balance decrease of 20,000 this year, is that tracking?
Yeah, so we're actually focused just on what is projected to be the available fund balance. So I go through an exercise of looking at what our current fiscal year activity is. I do an estimate of year end, and then what we'll have left over to carry over that's not already assigned to a reserve.
Yeah.
And then that's also a very conservatively estimated number. I don't overinflate it because I don't want to have a loss of something that we can't.
But we're still pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Did we actually go into fund balance last year?
It looks like it grew. I was just going to say it grew 40,000.
We had a lot of interest last year that was unanticipated. So that, in addition to our revenues, ended up having a nice, healthy fund balance. And we tend to have savings in a year. So even expenses that we budget for, like legal expenses that we can't actually, you know, we sort of anticipate a worst case scenario, a busier scenario where we might be getting charged more for legal services. And then it ends up being that we've saved money in the year that can be applied to the next year.
And on the increase in the actual budget, it's gone up. I think the public would look at it, it's gone up pretty fast. But a couple things, raises, obviously, been healthy raises, and then we have long-term employees, which is a good thing. And so people tend to get to the top of their steps, which has a increase. But anyways, we have a good staff, small but mighty.
Very good. Thanks, Vito. Any other questions? No. Anybody? Okay. Anybody from the audience? Any questions? Yeah, oh, that's right. Open the public hearing. Anybody from the audience have any questions? Okay, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission for any more comments or a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Very good. Thank you very much. We'll move on to commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments tonight from anybody?
You know, I just, excuse me, I just like to say it's been an honor for the last 4 years, serving with all of you. I know, Sue, I haven't served with you long, but, you know, time goes by fast. Prior to that, I was over here for 12 years serving on this board. So I've had a lot of experience, and it's, you know, I think you guys are all going the right direction. Again, thank you for having me serve with you all the last 4 years.
It's been our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ken. Thank you for all you've done.
Appreciate your service.
Sacrifice, yeah. And then I know that, Bill?
Yeah, Gary, I just want to thank my fellow commissioners. It's been a wonderful experience serving LAFCO. I want to thank the staff. You guys are second to none for sure. Always a quick response and when there's questions before meetings. So just much appreciated. I also want to thank the public. Some of you are just bulldogs, and I appreciate that. I think it's important. We talked about so many times the apathy, and it's clearly not here in Stanislaus County, and that's a wonderful thing. Many great resumes, an incredible group that applied. And so I just want to thank the public and for you've always been gracious and shown a lot of class in your speaking in front of this council, this commissioners, and so thank everybody, and it's been a great experience. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Anybody else? Any other? Okay, that's it for our comments. Additional matters, discretion of the chair, nothing for me. And then again, I just want to thank everybody for being a part of this process. And I wish we didn't just have to pick one or two individuals. Just as a tough, just as Bill said, it's great to have so many good applicants apply. And they'll be hopefully back here again for more applications 4 years from now, as far as the public's part. Okay, executive officer's report. Sarah, anything?
Just very quickly, our next meeting on May 28th, we'll have the final budget. We'll also have an annexation to a county service area in Denair, and then the closed session for my annual performance evaluation.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, being no other business, this meeting is adjourned.